Are we about to tip back into war against Iran? Well, look at what they just did. Central Command has released brand new video as Iranian-flagged ship tried to evade the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, and the United States military jumped into action. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Our military fired on that cargo ship and took out its engine room following a 6-hour standoff. CENTCOM says that ship ignored repeated warnings to turn around before the U.S. Navy issued this message.
Vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Okay, we gave the flare. Now we're getting anything. Be ready.
So what had Iran been doing for hours out there? Well, they decided to try to take over the Strait of Hormuz and were attacking ships, all reportedly ordered by an Iranian National Guard commander that you see there on your screen. He has taken over the military and all diplomatic operations, freezing out so-called moderates in the Islamic regime. The IRGC forced multiple ships to turn around in the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend and then opened fire on some of them. Marine traffic 24-hour snapshot shows the path of an Indian-flagged tanker before and after it was attacked, again by Iran. And you can see it entering the strait before doubling back quickly to try to get away from the IRGC commander's fire. President Trump posted about Iran's aggressive actions on Sunday, saying in part, Iran's attacks violated the ceasefire agreement with the U.S., and more now out of CENTCOM just this past hour. Again, new video, the blockade being enforced, 27 vessels directed to turn around so far.
United States warship 115. You are entering the area of a military blockade. This blockade of Iranian ports will be enforced and applies to all vessels regardless of flag. Any vessel that further intends to enter or exit an Iranian port will be subject to the right of visit and search in accordance with international law. If you attempt to run the blockade, we will compel compliance with force. Over.
So we are getting almost real-time action in the Strait of Hormuz. Not much delay between this new video and the action that's happening to give the world an idea of exactly why we are there. This is a country that wants nuclear weapons. Wow. Vice President J.D. Vance will lead the command round 2 of negotiations in Islamabad, Pakistan, along with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. It's still unclear if Iran's people will actually show up. The current ceasefire expires this Tuesday night. Vice Admiral Robert Harward is a former deputy commander of U.S. CENTCOM, and he will join me moments from now. First, let's go to Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst on the ground in Tel Aviv. Trey.
Yeah, hey, Harris, good morning. CENTCOM says U.S. forces seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship in the Gulf of Oman that was trying to get through the U.S. Navy blockade. President Trump posted to Truth Social overnight saying, in part, quote, the Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ships stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The ship remains in U.S. custody at this moment. At least 24 other vessels were turned around over the weekend, complying with U.S. orders. The incident came 24 hours after Iran's IRGC fired on 2 vessels trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz in violation of the ceasefire. Now the question remains if a broader agreement will be reached this week. The ceasefire is set to expire in less than 48 hours. I spoke with President Trump over the weekend, who told me if this deal isn't done, the deal that we made, that I'm going to take out their bridges and their power plants. He went on to say if they don't sign this thing, the whole country is going to get blown up. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson held a press conference this morning indicating that Iran has not agreed to attend talks in Islamabad, Pakistan tomorrow and is currently reviewing U.S. proposals.
We witnessed that the United States insisted on bad faith and violation of the ceasefire. All of this is evidence that the United States apparently does not show seriousness in the diplomatic process.
Reports indicate top IRGC commanders are actually in charge of what can be given up at the negotiating table. And at this moment, Harris, we don't even know if Iran will attend the talks. Harris?
Trey, thank you very much for all the latest on this. And focus now, Vice Admiral Robert Harward, a former deputy commander of the U.S. CENTCOM, a retired U.S. Navy SEAL. Great to see you today. What can you tell me about the Marine Expeditionary Unit, which I know made a big difference in what happened over the weekend?
Well, they've been trained to do this exact mission: board, search, and seize ships that, especially in this case, are trying to avoid the blockade. So our Navy Marine forces have been doing this mission for decades. They're well trained, they're well executed. And as you saw, they gave them all the warnings. They set the stage. Hey, guys, we told you there's a blockade. Stop. If you don't, we're going to disable you. So the Navy ship shot them, stopped them in the waters, the Marine boarded them and took control. So we said we could do this. We've done it for decades, and this administration's going to hold to that. So it's a clear message to the IRGC. Hey, we're telling you what we're doing every step of the way. So when you come to the negotiations, understand you're going to capitulate, or we're just going to ramp it up more.
Talk to me about the IRGC. And there's this new commander, apparently. I don't know how new he is, but he's taken over, and diplomatic negotiations over there in Iran. What does that mean to you? Because you and I have talked a number of times now. I don't think it's any great surprise that they have other people who want to be radical within their government. But this guy's firing on ships. He's ordering those things to happen.
Well, it's the whole IRGC. They are the core of the regime and the Islamic Revolution. They are the muscle. They are the guys who are suppressing the people, threatening and conducting offensive operations. So again, and this leader, because especially from the Israeli campaign where they've targeted the IRGC leadership, and this guy's probably going to have that same problem, they're going to fight to the death, because at the end of the day, we're going to get them all. And even those who don't go, when this thing turns at the end, they're going to be held accountable by the people of Iran. So the IRGC numbers about 120 to 150,000 when they started the war, and the leadership are the real ideologues. So those are the guys we got to be focused on, targeting, and that's how we bring a real enduring peace and end to this conflict, by making sure the IRGC is eradicated at the end of the day.
You know, that's really helpful, what you just gave us there. Vice Admiral, you said there are between 103 and 150,000 of them, give or take all those we've taken out and that Israel has taken out. That's a lot larger than the IRGC than maybe people had realized. So that's some interesting information. A top method the regime uses to stop traffic in the Strait is to inject risk by planting sea mines in the waterway, also adding a level of danger to the Strait. The Wall Street Journal now is reporting on all of it, how the U.S. is using drones to clear those mines, a method that reduces the danger to sailors and could give the U.S. negotiating leverage if they help open the waterway. What's your reaction to that?
Well, drone warfare is the future. That's what Iran's been using to block the U.S. Their drones that they've shot at ships, shot at bases, shot as infrastructure. They're using it as an offensive weapon. We're using drones as a defensive weapon to provide intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, to watch the Straits of Hormuz, to look for mines. So you can see where all this is going. And look, when we lost a pilot, that almost brought us to a stop. It was too high risk. So the more we leverage and use aircraft that don't need people, the less at risk we can do, and we can move to the scale we need to. Also, the hardest part about manned aircraft is the pilots. We've got to train them, we got to find them, we got to retain them. If we remove that part of the equation, then you can fly thousands of drones. And that's what our adversaries are doing. That's what the Ukrainians did to balance the power against the Russians. That's what the Iranians have done with us. So you could see the future of where these drones are going to do, and how it's really going to balance the power and hopefully act as a deterrent to the use of force at the end of the day.
Again, another fascinating part of this puzzle that we are literally watching almost in real time with so much video. And when you talk about that pilot, that was really a hinge point, perhaps, those two pilots who were in that plane, one who was stranded for 36 hours. And we did everything. We took everything we had to go get him, and we got him back. and we brought him home. And that was a huge signal, I would imagine, to not just Iran, but maybe enemies around the world, that if you mess with us, we will come for you and we will get our people out.
Paris, you're exactly right. Not only that, it illustrates we can go anywhere in Iran we want to do. This whole issue of highly enriched uranium, other places. If we want to put people in Iran to threaten this regime, we can do it. And this maritime interception of this crap, where you basically put Marines on Iranian property, their ships, is another illustration of that. So if they don't capitulate and agree to our arrangements and the negotiations, they can anticipate a lot more than that, further threatening the regime. So you can see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. Right. They have until 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday night of this week to make sure that they're going in the right direction. Otherwise, what you just described is going to keep happening. Admiral, thank you so very much. Always great to have you in focus.